Hello and welcome to the Night Witches. I'm not sure how many live audience we're going to get today, um, but I hope anybody who does watch me watching will or watch us all will be introduced. Now, up here is Mohammed. Do you want to introduce yourself and your character?
Sure, I am Mohammed. I'm playing Senior Lieutenant Alia Anusha Umarova.
Cool. And down here below me is Jerry.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm Jerry and I'm playing Junior Lieutenant Elena Petrova.
And right down the bottom below Jerry is Nicholas. And that is not a comment upon his importance within the group. Nicholas, you want to say hi?
Well, say it's like it is, right? So
Nicholas,
Nicholas,
whose
yes,
daughter's house is burning down even as we talk.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm Nicholas. I'm playing Anya Repina Pavlova.
Excellent. And which of the three of you wants to tell me what happened last time that we met 2 weeks ago?
Well, I think we had returned from a day mission, unusually, which went relatively well. Unfortunately, we had some heavy landings. I bent my undercarriage when I landed, I think, and but then we attended the debrief where we got a bit of a dressing down and had to sort of stand our ground against the senior officers who felt we didn't perform well enough, despite having a bit of a mix-up with a Messerschmitt 109 and coming back to tell the tale. Following that, unfortunately, the fascists made some advances and are threatening our airfield. So we have been ordered to bomb up, take off, and bomb our own airfield.
Yes. So we start really with this mission here that I'm highlighting on the screen, and I hope you can all see my little mousy hand waving over it. So this is the mission we're taking this time. Attacking your own airfield, hastily evacuated and now being overrun by the enemy. German troops are on the ground. We described those coming closer a fortnight ago, and they're preparing to land aircraft, which would be a disaster. So your instructions are to make the field entirely unusable as an airfield. Now you'll note here there's a couple of notes. And it's interesting because before we did the session, I thought, well, surely we don't need to do a wayfinding roll because we're on the blooming airfield. But obviously, we have to do a wayfinding roll because on this, a 7 to 9 automatically is about enemy fire. And I guess what we're talking about here is about taking off, making a circle above the airfield so that you can make an attack run on it while avoiding the very close anti-aircraft artillery that has already been put in place, I'm guessing, among the advancing forces. But the other note here that I just want to draw everybody's attention to is that anyone participating advances. And I just wondered whether that actually meant that one should advance now at the beginning of the mission. What do you guys think?
I would say that it is afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not particularly sure how the rules go on this one. Normally, an advance is a thing you do kind of at downtime at the after the mission. But I'm just wondering whether this is saying, I mean, obviously what they're saying is you get an automatic advance plus the stuff that happens at the end of the mission, depending on the dice you roll. But I guess what I'm doing here is I'm being a bit soft on the three of you and saying, do you want to do an advance beforehand? Because we know you might not live through this mission, but we know you're going to advance after it.
Hmm.
Well, if I was GMing, I would not allow advancing ahead of it. But
Well, you're the more experienced GM in all matters of these sort of rules-light story games. You took us through Bully Pulpits, and I've got to say, this is a great game by Bully Pulpit. And Bully Pulpit have supported they've retweeted our advert for this game. So all credit to Bully Pulpit. And the other great game of theirs that we've played is Fiasco, which you ran some time ago, Nicholas. So I'm willing to go with your advice if that's what you really think.
Yeah.
And Jerry said something similar. So I don't think really that you can outvote them, even though you are the senior officer here, Mohammed.
No, okay, I will go with I have a. We are a fascist. We are a Soviet, yes, but I will go with the democracy this time.
Well said. Well said.
Okay, so
Sorry, that's me. It's so good. I thought we should hear it twice, and that's not actually what I intended to do. Hold on.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. I'm still repeating ourselves. There we go. And what I've done is delete. Trying to shut myself down. I've actually shut down the thing I wanted to. So let's go to the handouts where we've got. This is a tense situation. I will give you the opportunity to make day rolls before we go to this mission, but there's very little time. That is a GM move that I'm imposing on you now. So if we look at these day rolls, you might want to consider, is there something about the situation or an individual that you want to size up? Is there anything you need for your planes that might help you? Is there any more acting up you want to do? Do you need to repair your craft? I think possibly, Jerry, you need to, don't you?
I thought I succeeded in that.
Oh, you fixed your bent undercarriage already, have you?
Yeah, I thought we
Yes,
we
I remember now
yeah.
that we were looking for a particular screw
Yes,
or something that we found. Yeah.
a 7/8 bolt or something.
yes,
So
I guess he succeeded in scourging, and I succeeded in repair, as far as I remember correctly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm remembering it now.
What Lena would like to do while the armorers are bombing her aircraft up, she would like to ask them if they could, if they have any satchel charges or things that I can give to the navigator. And also,
so some extra bombs that you can add to your
yeah,
payload effectively
yeah,
by being manually dropped out.
yeah.
Well,
And
I reckon that would be a scrounge roll, don't you think?
I think that'd probably be right, yeah. And
Right.
also, if there are any over the what we can carry, if they could seed the airfield with them.
Right. Okay. Well, let us see how well you do on your dice roll. Actually, if you get a really good success, I might consider something like that. But to do scrounge, you must roll plus luck if you have any.
I have 0 in luck, and I have rolled double 2, so that's a total
Double
of
2.
4.
Oh dear.
So,
Oh dear. So no. Everybody is packing things away. There's no such thing as spare satchel charges. And I get to choose 3 options from the 7 to 9 list. or worse. Now, I'm just going to go and check out my moves here and see if there's anything I really want to throw at you to be really mean. I mean, not mean, but to do the conversation thing. Game Master moves. Let me just have a quick look at what I could be doing. Right, you know what? I think when you approach the armourers and say, you know, if we've got any extra satchel charges, he blows up at you. Bloody entitled women! Don't you know there's a war on? Can you not see the Germans advancing just over the brow of the next hill? Can you not see the smoke? This is not the time to ask for an extra favour. I think he really, really gets into you, and I'm going to inflict one harm, not so much from lack of sleep, as it says here, but from just the stress of really being shouted at.
Yeah.
And very much putting you in your place. And, you know, we're trying to do a job here, and he's wording it that the women are just thinking they're the most special people on earth and getting in the way of doing the job. And I want to get out of here alive, and I don't have a plane to fly me away. You should be bloody grateful that I'm doing this. And so, yeah, I think he really digs into you and does a point of harm. But I'm also going to offer you an opportunity. If you want to, you know, he's in such a terrible mood. I'm just trying to think about it. If you want to take a hard landing, a wheels down now, he may consider actually having shouted at you. You may apologize enough to get him to go off and actually find an extra satchel charge, giving you +1 to your mission pool, but it will cost you a wheels down, whatever happens in the.
So I'll need to roll again to get that.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, what he's doing is he's preparing your plane. He's going to not do the work that needs to be done on the plane to go off and find you a satchel charge, which should be a +1 to your mission pool, if you are willing to excuse him the work he's doing on your plane, which effectively will mean a wheels down.
Oh, but I do need him to bomb the plane up, though.
Yeah, well, in that case, you may want to refuse the offer.
Yeah, I think I'll refuse that. What do you think?
So just to explain what's happening here, this offer isn't coming from him. This is me as a GM saying there's a way you can fix this and still get what you want, but it will cost you an unmaintained plane, which will be a wheels down at the end of the mission.
Okay, well, I think what as I clamber in and put my belts on and things, I lean out to him and I say, well, if you happen to come past anything as you're leaving, dump it on the runway so I can hit it.
Right. We'll see whether anything comes out of that. Does anybody else want to do, or are you all swinging your propellers, or rather, are your aircrew swinging your propellers and you're shouting contact?
So we have now 5 in the mission pool.
You have 5 in the mission pool, do you?
We have.
How do we earn that?
We have 2 holds and 2 in the mission pool, or I am just exaggerating. Did somebody else take this note?
I've got a 4-bar gate down from last time.
Yeah.
So
right.
I had noted
Okay.
3, but yeah, 5. Okay.
Let's
Right.
live with 5 in the mission pool then. That will be
Okay.
that'll be good. And you were right, probably, Jerry, to turn that one down. Are we going to the mission? Are we
No,
moving
so
effectively into night moves?
we didn't take a mission pool today, right? So we have only 4 now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's head into night moves.
Yes.
And right now,
We have to do a wayfind, right?
first of all,
we have
well,
to
I'm just thinking
start.
here. You're the captain. Have we got 3 individual planes here?
Yeah.
I
I'm
think we
flying
do,
with
yeah.
Zyka. I'm flying with Zyka, yeah.
Yeah. And you two, your oh, did I say last time, Nicholas, that your pilot was injured? And I think I might have said you're going to have to fly with Jerry, with Jerry's character.
Yeah, she died when I crashed the.
Yeah.
No.
No, I pulled.
No, wait.
No, she went to hospital, didn't she?
Yeah,
No.
but she's in hospital. That's it.
Yeah,
No,
she was taken off the base.
Yeah. So we are flying.
So I think you are flying in Jerry's plane. I can't remember what happened to Jerry's co-pilot, but we'll make her an absent protagonist here. So you've got 2 planes, Alia. How are you going to assign them?
We get 2 planes. Okay. Jerry is a navigator or a flyer?
Jerry's a pilot, I think.
Pilot. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we need not to take a risk in this one. So I'm pulling one of my moves, intense navigation, to find that I will not need to roll to get a wayfind, but I will instead take a harm aura mark.
Right, and which are you choosing there? It feels to me that it would be good to take a mark for this one.
Yeah, I will reveal a secret.
Right.
After the mission, yeah.
Okay. So I think, it's really tense. You're right not to do this because anything you do will result in enemy fire, or anything other than a really good success will result in enemy fire. So you decide to pull up sharply, I'm guessing, and have as tight a circuit around the airfield as you can possibly manage to come back onto the airfield straight away. Who's doing the attack run?
Probably Jerry and Anna. Elena and Anna.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the attack run. So the target is the airfield itself. You don't see anything on there in terms of explosives, but there to help you make bigger holes.
Is that grumpy armor nearby so I could drop a bomb on him?
Now you do see this departing trucks, and he's on one of those. But I do think it would be unpatriotic to bomb your own retreating crew. That might well attract the attention of your superiors.
She does have that fleeting thought, you know. Maybe I should bomb him, but then decides, well, possibly has I come round and gain a bit of altitude. I look down to estimate the point where the 2 airfields cross over and work out to get a nice tight spread.
Right, of both the runways.
So both runways are equally damaged.
Okay.
And can I throw an extra point from the pool into this?
You can throw whatever you like from the pool here.
Or am I allowed to roll first and then decide?
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah. Okay.
What is your role in the group, by the way? Jerry?
My role, the character.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
She-
you're defined as a bird, a raven, or an owl, or
Yes, a
something.
hawk. She's
Hawk,
taking
but
the
also
hawk template.
under where it says raven, there's your role: protector, zealot, adventurer, dreamer,
Oh yes.
leader.
What did we decide? Yes, she ticked adventurer.
Okay, right. That's just in terms of if you succeed, everybody else gets a +1 on there on doing an attack one, but
Yeah.
that doesn't apply for this one. This one is wheels down. Anyway, okay, so you're doing this maneuver. You can add
So I
one
rolled
or more points. Can you add more points? Well, roll the dice and see how many you want to add. Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a 5, so I'm glad I'm getting these low rolls out of the way early. So I'd quite like to put 2 for the mission pool into that
To get it up to 7.
to get it up to a 7.
Yeah, I think it's entirely up to you. Yeah, it is tough. Which of these 2 consequences are you going to choose? That the damage is not significant, that you failed by going for that crossover of the 2, you've managed to kind of miss both runways, or you fly through a storm of flak, or you're a plane in your section is damaged, which I choose, or you and your fellow airwoman, which would be in this case Nicholas, are marked.
Right. So I and it's 2 of them, isn't it?
You've got to choose 2, yeah, for a 7.
If Anna's happy, I would choose us both taking a mark and flying through a storm of flak.
Right, and hitting on target, because that's the kind of
I-
adventurous
yeah.
pilot you are.
With him.
Yeah, because we
Putting
got to
your
get
crew at risk to make sure that the
So-
attack is successful. Okay,
yeah,
so take a mark. Now, I will say that you can, if you want to, Mohammed, take, or rather, should I say, Alia, you can take the Vader Maya role here, or choose to make a second attack. But the Vader Maya role will potentially allow you to distract from the enemy fire that is about to befall your flight mate.
But the attack run is successful, or
Well, the
it's-
attack run, yeah, because he's chosen two
Okay,
you know,
2 options.
two things that do him harm. He's actually done his job and hit both runways with the same payload.
Okay, I will try to distract the enemy fire.
Okay, so you just hold that, and we'll cut to enemy fire, and then if there's any
there's anything left.
yeah, well, no, it means that at any time you can take one of the consequences of enemy fire on yourself or your aircraft, spreading it around a bit more. So, in making that attack run, you are hit by bullets, so you need to roll plus luck, Jerry.
So the luck is 0.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do better than a 5. Oh, look at that. So we've got a 10.
Oh,
Oh,
So
right. If you got a 10, that's good enough. You are through the worst of it, and the old girl's in one piece.
a little bit of rudder and a skirt to the left at the last minute just throws off their aiming.
Right. And nobody needs to make a wheels down either.
Yeah.
So we are moving on effectively. You are now flying on to the next location. And where you were briefed to fly to after this is
Recip.
Parasip, I think,
Yep.
which is here.
Close by.
And right. So let us come. You land here, but the debrief, I guess, is still happening under these rules, as it were.
Mhm.
So where's the debrief? Hold on a second. Is it debrief here? Here we go. So yeah, you guys arrive at Precip. You land, and you tell your chief of staff what went right and what went wrong.
Everything went as planned. No harm done to any planes. Junior Lieutenant Elena and Anna did a successful job. They bombed the target with efficiency, and they escaped a healing bullet from them. They showed a tremendous courage.
Yes, you say that we lost no planes. We lost no planes in the air, but we didn't have enough crew to take all the planes off the airfield. So we have lost some.
Yeah, but we didn't lose any souls. Planes can be built, souls cannot.
So give me a moment, and I have to go on to operational planning. I'm just going to check the rules for operational planning. Oh, not on there though. Can I? On page 48.
Change.
Okay. So when all our missions have been complete, we're not doing all the missions on this one because we want to try and leave it to 2 or 3 weeks in each place. The regiment's time at the current airbase is over. Fast forward your story and change duty stations. It's a good time to consider changing GMs as well. So my first question, I just want everybody here to consider is, does somebody want to take over as being GM for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think, essentially? But don't give me an answer now. We'll come back to that one. Just have a bit of a think about it. So all your harm is healed and all your planes are resupplied and repaired. Everybody advances because that was the terms of that mission. And you can consider, if you look at your role condition, you may get a second advance. Now, if we look at the role here, so when you change duty stations, advance if you walked away from a wrecked aircraft. Did you actually do that, Jerry?
No, I didn't. No.
No. Whereas if Nicholas was an adventurer, you would have done that because you walked away from a wrecked aircraft. But Nicholas, what is your role?
I'm a protector, and I haven't saved anyone's life, I think.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Okay. And what is your role currently, Mohammed?
I'm also protector.
Right. Oh, but you did save somebody's life, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because you pulled Nicholas's pilot out of the plane. So yeah, you get 2 advances, and Nicholas and Jerry each get 1. We'll talk about that in a moment. And importantly, anyone can change their role if they wish.
So I advance too? I have 2 advancements or
make-
only 1?
I think
It's your role. So
Should-
Nicholas?
Matthew, I think the mission had an advance if we survive
Yes.
it. Yes. Changing duty station.
Also has an advance, actually.
an advance.
Well,
So we should have 2 each at least.
yes. Yeah. Okay. So 2 and 3 for Mohammed.
Okay.
And the other
And
thing I would
I'm
sort of
gonna-
point out is everybody can change their role at this new station. And I'm pointing that directly to you, Mohammed, because
Okay.
you are taking more of a leadership role. So you may wish to become a leader as opposed to a protector.
Okay. Done.
But you don't have to. You can stay where you are. 'Cause it's
No,
entirely
no,
up to you.
sure. It's better. Yeah.
So, shall we go through? Well, first of all, we've got a few things to do with your marks.
Yeah.
We've only got Mohammed with a mark, or do some of you have other marks ticked off that you haven't done yet?
we both got marks.
Yeah.
But did you not do your mark last time, Nicholas? I seem
No,
to
we
remember.
No, we
Now.
both
Now,
we took another mark
the attack run.
today.
For the attack run, of course. So you did. Sorry, I'm just forgetting entirely. Yeah. Yes, that was your cost. Okay. So let's start with you, Nicholas. What mark are you taking?
Yeah, I was thinking of taking advance and grow. Actually.
Okay.
But
Cool. So take a third advance. We'll come back to you in a moment. Jerry, what mark are you taking?
I changed my mind. I'll do tell a war story.
Tell a war story. Have you got one prepared, or do you want to think about it for a bit?
I can improvise something in a while.
Okay, Jerry, what mark are you taking?
I think considering the move we made, in that I should put duty before health or love.
Right. Yes. Oh, I haven't. Sorry, I'm looking. I'm not looking at your sheet. What sort of bird are you?
Hawk.
Hawk. I've got them all here somewhere. Where are they?
Yeah, they're all subtly different, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's there's so much story in these in these play sheets for everybody. So, what does that actually mean for you narratively? Do you think, Jerry? Obviously, you're risking your life.
I think that Lena will just become a little more rash, and she's filled a regard slot with Alia, so she will be very keen to follow Alia in whatever Alia does. To hell with the consequences.
Okay.
So
You've already filled that regard slot, have you?
Yes. Yeah, I think I filled it last week.
Right. Okay. Let's go to you, Mohammed. What mark are you taking?
Reveal a secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
had this.
You've
one
had more time to
prepared.
think about that, because I remember you saying that earlier on. So
Yeah,
what is the secret?
Yeah, already prepared it a long bit of time ago. Yes, as we resting up, I will tell them that during the famine that we have in my village, one of the guards proposed something to help us increase our rations, because we didn't have any rations. My boys were crying with hunger and they were simply dying. So he proposed something that I must give, and he will return. He will give us ration in return. But yes, I how it goes, we must do something against our own interests in order to save our family. So I shamefully accepted his offer, but in the end, he tricked me, and he didn't give us the agreed ration. And I snuck up in the night and I slit his throat.
You killed him.
Yes. I was a senior. It was a senior officer.
Who was this? How
I'm
long
not here,
ago?
guys. So
Mm.
by all means, respond the way you want to respond.
It was the one shame that I had in my life, but I took the ration, I stole the ration, and I slit his throat. And I dumped his body in the desert. This burden has been on my chest a long time ago. I think my departed husband knew, but he shamefully he knew that we need to do things in order to save our families. But yeah, that was a heavy burden that I must take out. And I trust you, sisters. We've seen death together, and I must reveal this secret to someone before, we don't know when we will die. And I want to confess before I do.
Yeah, I must admit I'm shocked. Really.
Yeah, so was I. I didn't know it was inside me, but betrayal and rage and hunger do the worst in men and women, it seems.
I thought I was a person. Yeah.
Go on, Nicholas.
No, well, yeah.
Jerry, what were you going to say?
Well,
I,
yeah.
Lena just fixes a gaze on Alia and then turns to Anna and says, I don't think I quite caught that. Did you? And then moves the conversation on into lighter subjects about the tight turn she took before as she approached the airfield. Looked back and winks at Alia.
Yeah, that was a brilliant turn. That was a brilliant turn. Yeah.
Okay, so part of my advancement, two parts of my advancement that I want
To tick, yeah.
two regards for Elena and Anna after revealing the story to them. So I will take
Okay,
two.
so you're ticking
advancements.
2 deepening ties boxes and adding both Elena and Anna to that.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the nature of your regard?
I respect.
Now, interestingly, these regard slot says I somebody the most. So I kind of feel you can't respect both Elena and Anna the most. Maybe you trust one the most and you respect the other the most, but I think you have to have two different things in there. What is it you value about each of your compadres?
I'll probably admire the skills of Elena
The most?
and I trust Anna.
Okay, fill those in. Take those 2 advances.
Okay.
And I think you've got a third still.
For Zyka, yeah.
Oh no, but you've got a third advance to take. But
third advance to take.
Shall we cut back to Anna?
So while we're sitting there talking, I bring up my my family situation, and that I have not told you, but I've told another comrade earlier how I was engaged to be married with a childhood friend. Was the son of the family that took care of me when my parents died. But then we broke up because he wasn't happy with me joining the Air Force, and then he went to. He was. Well, we haven't broken up officially, but then he went to another woman, which turned out to be my best friend. That is now pregnant. And I tell the story of how in my anger at his anger with me and betraying me, how I had an affair, quite without a loveless affair, more of the carnal nature with the Sergeant Igor in one of the regiments when we were doing our training, and how this is how the war affects us. I'm losing my words. It washes out our emotions. We become animals. But Alia, I know you did a horrible thing once upon a time, but you have done wonderful things to protect us. And I think, yes, you have given me hope again, somehow.
Let's drink for that.
Yeah.
Borscht.
Borscht.
Mr. Alva.
Right. So everybody's done their marks.
For the third advancement, I'll probably get greedy this time and added responsibility.
Okay. So tick that
will,
box, increase in rank,
Yeah, so I'm kept.
and raise which one?
Yeah.
Skill, guts, or luck?
I will probably stick with -1 luck, and I will increase guts by 1, so I'm 2 now in guts.
Excellent. And you're now captain.
Yeah.
I think that briefing that you gave as you arrived has probably gone down very well. Okay. Elena, what advances are you taking?
Oh, look, I found them now. And I can choose 2 of these.
Yes.
And and some of them you can take multiple times. Is that right?
Yeah. So essentially, you can take added responsibility, which is the one that Mohammed has taken, Ali has taken 4 times, honor and pride 4 times, harsh lessons 5 times. Moving west
It's
is
3 times on mine.
different play sheets, different
Yes.
stories are told.
More subtle.
Yeah.
So
And deepening ties you have as well, which my character can only take 3 times.
right.
But
So now because I've got a -1 on something, I think I should take personal growth to bring my guts back up to 0.
so have you got personal growth?
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Read out what the advancements are that you've
Okay.
got, because
But
I'm just
the
looking at.
advancements on a Hawk playbook
Yeah.
are as follows: harsh lessons, and you add a new move as a result of that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can take that on 3 occasions. 4 occasions you can take Deepening Ties, which opens a guard slot and fills it. You get 3 personal growth, which is raise guts, luck, or a skill by 1, which is the one I was looking at. Then you've got honor and pride, which you can take 4 times. And that's add the leftmost medal.
Yeah.
And a +1 to your medal slot. And then you got added responsibility 3 times, increase rank. There can be only 1 major though. And
right,
1,
and you don't, when you increase rank, you don't increase a skill, lux or guts.
no, you just get an increase in rank, and then it says there can only be 1 major.
Yeah. And then have you got moving west as well?
And then moving west is the final one.
Well, it's not so much the final one. You can do it, but it is the final one. If anybody chooses to move west at any point, then we all move to the new station without necessarily completing all the missions.
Okay.
And if somebody does it in the 6th station, then peace at last.
So based on personal growth, I think is a good one for Lena to take. And with her second advancement, I think she'd like honor and pride.
Take a medal, I think so.
Which seems to
when Alia writes in dispatches about that excellent attack you did, I think you will get a Medal of Valor. And in fact, everybody gets the Medal for the Defense of the Caucasus.
Nice.
Which doesn't add to your medal totals, but it does count for pride.
And it looks splendid.
And it looks splendid. Absolutely.
It looks splendid on the gymnast taker. So that gives me a +1 in medals now, does it?
The Medal of Valor, the one that everybody doesn't get, it gives you +1 in medals, and you can use that when you're acting up. And Anya, what are your advances?
So I'm gonna 3 advances, and I'm gonna take 2 added responsibilities. I'm now a senior lieutenant, and I'm upping my luck, so it's not negative, and my skill. And then I'm going to piggyback on the performance of Elena and get a medal too.
Excellent, yeah. You were in the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
You pulled the lever.
Yeah. All she did was fly in a single direction.
Yes, I just managed to be straight and level for long enough.
Right, excellent. Okay, so has everybody spent all their advances?
Yep.
Right, so let's just cut to this new station and look a little bit about that. What I'm
changing role to Dreamer as well.
Ah, right. Interesting. So the Dreamer can weather an informal interview well. When you change duty stations, advance if you shared a premonition and it came true. Oh, you've got to be doing premonitions. That is a mark you can take as well, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that, Mark. I love that advance. Okay.
If I have it. Yeah.
So let's look a little bit at the next station that we're going to be at. Driving the fascist beasts off the Taman Peninsula requires a new kind of flying, often above the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea, over water at night. Without landmarks, this requires dead reckoning with the careful coordination of airspeed, heading, and time. Extremely technical flying in foul weather, combined with stiffening German resistance, makes for very stressful nights in the cockpit. The tactical area covers the Taman Peninsula, the Kerch Strait, and the eastern Crimea. This is a region of complex topology with mountains, foothills, and rocky lowlands, all straddled by open water to the north and south. Navigators, memorize the features of the coastline. If you can find the Chuska Spit, you can follow it to solid ground and home. Sea approaches will demand skilled technical flying, and you can expect strong resistance from land and air and even sea at fascist-controlled ports like Feodosia. There is no location completely safe from Hitlerite attacks within the operational zone. Upon changing duty stations, at the end of this duty, all members of the 588th Regiment will be awarded the 46th Taman Guards banner. This honour does not increase your medal stats and has no mechanical effort. And if we look at some of the missions, there's a tram line, there's a fuel depot at Feodosia Airfield, which requires two wayfinding rolls by different navigators to locate the target. Again, this is one that gets a free advance. German trenches, rail marshalling yards, anti-aircraft defences atop Mount Mitridat above Kerch. Dangerous and technically difficult reach. It automatically takes enemy fire the lead plane. It requires 2 attack runs for successful completion. And a daylight search for 3 missing barges full of naval infantry lost on the Black Sea. So, lots of missions there. I'm going to ask, does anybody want to take over as GM? I'm happy to carry on GMing if nobody does, but you will lose the company of your favourite member of the flight, whose name I've temporarily forgotten. Give me a moment. The mischief maker, Junior Lieutenant Valentina Valia.
Yeah, she will return. Yay.
She will. She will. I'm thinking I was going to do a reunion this evening if anybody was going to volunteer to be GM.
It will be my first time, but if it's possible, if you can just point me, and I will gladly try.
We'll help you through it. It'll be an honor to be GM by you.
Thank you,
Mohammed. Cool. So shall we maybe finish a little bit early this evening? It'll only have been an hour, but shall we finish with as you're sitting there having these conversations and getting slowly drunk, and it's a rare sunny day here on the peninsula. Well, not a rare sunny day, but it's a rare day without any interruptions. And as you three are sitting, lounging in deck chairs, maybe even socks off and bare feet in the... I have no idea what the station's like. Do we know what the station's like? Let's have a quick look. Yes, we do.
Well, we have these questions to... So.
Oh, well, you know what? Shall I do these questions, Mohammed, or did you want to do them?
As you wish. If you want me to do the this duty station, okay.
So are you wanting to ask the questions of us?
Okay. Do you want to do it after Valentina returns, or?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah. So as you are talking, and the conversation has turned kind of somber. I think the last thing that was said is that war makes us all animals. Then you see that cheeky fox, as I like to think of her, the troublemaker, who wondered whether she was going to change roles, but I'm still stuck with Miss Misanthrope because I just love it. I love being the grit in the oyster that makes the rest of you shine. With a cheery smile, you see her walking through. I feel it's a sunny day, and you're look at this. Look at this. Actually, we're right. I'm just reading the description here. You're operating out of a picturesque coastal village with magnificent views of the serene Sea of Azov. The villagers resent our presence, but right now you are sitting in deck chairs on the beach with your boots and your socks off, toes in the sand.
Yeah, probably first time Anusha see the
Has
sea.
seen the sea. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, apart from the time you flew over it a couple of weeks ago, but
Yeah, but not sunbathing.
yeah. Feeling the warmth on the sun on your skin, and there's a bit of a heat haze further down the beach, and walking along the beach is a figure who walks with a casual I want to say insolence, really, swaggering a little bit from side to side, carrying a kit bag. Whose kit bag, I have no idea, but we may find out. And with a broad smile on her lined face, as she recognizes, well, does she recognize you, Nicholas? Did you ever know?
I'm a bit unsure, but maybe.
Yeah, she's the one that carried his baggage and was trying to steal his baggage, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You didn't know me for very long, but
Yeah.
she knows you, Alia. She knows you, and as you recognize her and your eyes meet, her smile broadens even more.
Yeah, I would probably just run in the on the beach and hug her and give her kisses.
I think she drops her kit bag, or whoever's kit bag it was, and you find yourself dancing on the beach, swirling around in each other's arms as she says, "I'm back. I'm not dead."
Yeah, I know Des couldn't have anything against you. Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll ever die, she says. Tell me, what's been going on? At which point, I guess it might be an opportunity for you to ask those questions, Mohammed.
Yes.
Or do we want to leave that until the beginning of the next session?
Whatever the time is suitable, we can do it. No problem. I can just like a sudden exam that we used to take at school. So let me improvise and prepare the GMing now. I can ask the question.
This, luckily for you, isn't much improvisation. You've got a script there with the questions you want to ask. I'll call it up again. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen to actually move it. So these are the questions you ask. Who do you ask them of? And it's up to the rest of us to do the improvisation.
Okay, which officer of the 588 is slightly afraid to fly over water? So, okay, I will ask Lena. Which officer of the 588 is quietly afraid to fly over water? We need to know this information before we do our flights.
Lena kind of pushes her side cap back and looks up and down the ranks of her comrades laying on the sand, and then looks out at the water, kind of sucks her thin lips in, and goes, "Comrade Captain, I suspect we're not afraid to fly over water, but I suspect some of us might be afraid to end up in the water."
Okay, so nobody will be claustrophobic and drop this plane in the water. We need to know this information right now. Will not be disadvantage. So, I guess I can trust you, Lena.
You can trust me. I'll follow you anywhere except into the water.
So this is not as a GM. I'm not Ali anymore. I'm just the commanding officer of the regiment. Matthew.
Yeah, effectively. Oh, you're the GM. You
Yeah.
take on, of course, all the characters that are required. But in terms of asking these questions, I don't think this is like a debrief. I think this is like, let us create the story together. So,
Okay. So
do we? I mean, do we want to mention one of the command crew that we know, who are Major Yevdoika Pashkovskaya, Captain Evgenia Lobdeva, the chief of staff, the regimental politruk, the logistics and training officer, or indeed any one of us. And I'm just wondering whether, although I'm not going, it says quietly afraid of flying over water, but
I
I
also have a history of ending up in the water with problematic results.
Right. So you volunteering to be a bit afraid of the water as we go through these water-based missions.
Yeah.
Okay. You take it as the second question is tailored for you, for your character, Matthew.
Oh, isn't it just?
What secret luxury item are the local villager rumored to possess?
Oh,
and who gladly passes up a promotion to get her hand on just a little.
Well, I'm thinking of two ridiculously different ones, and I'll ask everybody else what we should think. So obviously we're in Russia. I'm taking a very stereotypical view of what Russia's all about, and I'm thinking there may well be a Fabergé egg rumored to be in this village, which I will have, if we've heard about a Fabergé egg, then I will be determined to get my hands on it. But the other alternative that I'm going to suggest, and I'll throw it open to the rest of the crowd, is there maybe a state bed from Catherine the Great's reign or something like that, which is rumored not only to be fabulously expensive and hung with wonderful Belgian silks and the finest materials, but also the most comfortable bed in the village. And maybe it would be a thing to get your hands on and steal, but also maybe it would be an opportunity to spend a night in this bed in absolute luxury, if only we could find out which building it was staying in. So those two things: do we want a Fabergé egg or do we want a bed?
I go to bed sleeping on the commissioned standard edition supply bed are not that comfortable.
Our mattresses are stuffed with straw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it may be that if it's an 18th century bed, so's Catherine the Great's, but I don't know. No, it probably isn't by that time, is it? So yeah, are we into beds then? Is it a marvelous feather bed, 4-poster, hung with silks? Any part of it would be a month's wages for any one of us. But actually, do we want it in its whole, and do we only want it for a night?
Well,
okay.
I
Shall
think
we go with
there's
that?
no way we're going to. Yeah, let's go with that because it's silly.
Right. Okay. So bed it is, and luckily I don't have to draw it.
Okay. How was it? Okay.
So the bed of Catherine the Great. I love that. And so bourgeois.
Okay, so to Anya, why has the NKVD set up shop in the abandoned church?
Yeah, that's right. Well, the church is. I mean, they need to be somewhere, but why I mean, they're always present, but I take it they're even more present.
Oh,
this
do
time.
the church need to be anywhere really now? I mean, you know what they said about opiate to the masses and that? Or have they said that yet?
Yeah.
No, they said that.
Oh, yes, they have. No, but I
Yeah.
mean, they are in a church because it's abandoned. It should be. So I don't think the church is special here.
Ah, but are the villagers are they rumored to be using the church?
Yeah. Are they
Yes.
really? Maybe they are rallying
Yeah.
up people and to investigate them, and they need to be just outside
Yes.
anybody's. Yeah.
And they are, maybe because this is an area where the Germans have been
Mm-hmm.
earlier. They've retreated, and so there are villages that have collaborated with the Germans, and they must be found out.
Oh, you know what? And these
Because they-
villagers have kept Catherine the Great. I know now why
Yeah.
it's so well hidden. They were hiding it from the Germans, but I'm sure we can earn their trust enough that they'll reveal it to us.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't seem particularly happy to be liberated,
No.
these villagers.
Maybe
Certainly-
the Germans let them go to church.
Okay. So.
Should we leave the last question for anybody that might join us next time?
I think
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Good.
Shall we call it quits now then? I know we are finishing a little bit early, but it feels like a good point to finish.
It's been a long day, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mohammed, have you got PDFs of the rules and stuff? Or would you like me to send you a copy?
I got them. Yeah.
Cool. If you've got any questions over the next couple of weeks about anything, give us a shout.
Sure.
But we'd love to help you have your first GMing experience.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so I guess we should say farewell to our audience, which consists mostly of Bruce. And so, hi, Bruce, and bye, Bruce. It's been a pleasure having you with us, and we shall meet again in 2 weeks' time. Brilliant. I'm gonna go and quit.